Hello there. I am Anne LaFollette, and welcome to this week's broadcast. I want to talk to you this week about 5 ways to get unstuck. And the reason that this topic is coming up is that I am a surface pattern designer and coach, and I am teaching my signature 8-week program that's called the Pattern Design Academy right now. And we are in week 5, so we're just moving into the second half of the course. And frequently what can happen at this stage is that people can start to feel really frustrated, they can feel really stuck, and you may not be in the middle of a course right now, but you may be embarking on your summer and the schedule around you has changed. The kids might all be home, or you might be moving into a new phase where you're organizing all of their summer plans for them. And you may also just be feeling either frustrated or stuck or kind of not in a really sort of smooth place. So the 5 ways that I like to address it when I am feeling stuck are as follows. So the first way is starting to figure out how to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And what I mean by that is if you are actually in a place where you're trying to move forward either with new learning, or you're trying to move forward into a new phase of your business career or your family life, frequently it's when you are in those areas of discomfort that you are going to either experience the most growth, or you are going to actually be able to make more progress. And you're going to need to figure out how to sort of both identify the fact that you are now in an uncomfortable zone, and that it's okay to be in that uncomfortable zone because it won't last that long, and that you will then move back into an area of comfort. But a lot more growth happens when you're in that area of discomfort as opposed to when you're always kind of in an area of smooth sailing. Then the second way is, I think it's really important to walk away from and do everything you can to ignore the comparison game. Frequently, what moves us into a place of being stuck is because we are either bombarded by imagery from social media, or we are just generally being bombarded with too much information, and that has a tendency to move us into a place of comparison where, oh, I'm falling behind, I haven't posted this week, or if you're in a course like many of my students are right now, I'm falling behind, I haven't done as much work on this module as this other student has. And it's really, really important to help quiet those voices and not play the comparison game, because wherever you are right now is the exact right place for you to be able to continue in your knowledge base if you're in a program like my Academy program, or if you're just in a different stage within your life. My third suggestion, or the third way that I move out of being unstuck, is actually by embracing process and or systems. And I talked about this a little bit last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, where I'm leading a 100-day challenge, and I was finding that embracing the process itself was helping me be successful in the challenge, and sticking with it and moving forward and not skipping a day, and being very engaged with the whole group that I'm leading through this 100-day challenge. So think about what systems or rituals or routines you actually have, or build them, because if you build them, they can actually become both pleasurable, because it could be your morning routine or it could be another part of your day, but they can actually really, really help you move forward and push through a time frame when you're feeling stuck. And then the fourth way that I get unstuck, and I thought that this might be helpful for you too, is to try something new. If you've been working on one particular project for a long time, or you're in a course, for example, and you're doing something very, very rigorous, it's sort of like an immersion program, you're diving in, every single day, you're getting new content and new knowledge, it can become a little bit overwhelming. And so sometimes it's great to take a break from that particular practice and just try something new. And if you're in the creative field like I am, sometimes that can show up as trying a pottery class so that you get your hands actually immersed in the clay, and you will move differently, and you'll experience art differently, and you'll refresh your brain, and you'll come at your existing practice with a completely fresh set of eyes, because you've tried something different. And it doesn't have to be that complicated. It could be that you love to sketch, so try painting and get some watercolors out and just experiment with that. Or it could be something like you normally are drawing by hand, and now why don't you try to draw with a tablet or try to draw using the Adobe Illustrator drawing tools. That's another great way to kind of get your brain out of its normal framework and help you move forward and get unstuck. And then finally, the last one, which is probably my favorite, is take a day off or take a couple of days off. We periodically, when we're stuck or we're feeling frustrated or we're feeling like we have lost some of our creativity, it's probably because our body and our brain is telling us we need to take a break. Do something with self-care, around self-care. Take care of yourself. It doesn't have to be fancy. You do not need to go sign up for a massage at a spa. It can be as simple as changing your morning routine, and instead of having a cup of coffee when you first wake up, actually going into your pantry and picking some really beautiful tea. Or it could be changing up your morning routine and sitting outside and getting some fresh air first thing in the morning while you're enjoying your cup of coffee. It could also be, and this is something that works for me, it could also be just cleaning up your work area. I don't have a studio, so my supplies are always in the kitchen. They're on the table in the back, or when I'm working on the computer, they're sort of around me upstairs at our desk, at the desktop area. I find it very satisfying to kind of clean up or neaten up. A, because it's mindless. You don't have to be thinking at all while you're doing that. B, it makes the environment just cleaner and neater, and for some reason that kind of helps me give my brain a little bit of a break. And then also when you come back to sit down at your work table, it's beautiful and everything's nicely arranged, and you've gotten rid of any old materials that you could throw away, and you can come at it again with sort of a fresh set of eyes and not feel like you're coming back into a mess. Just to recap really briefly, these are the 5 ways to get unstuck. If you are feeling frustrated, or you're feeling like you're stuck, or you're feeling like you're lacking in creativity just right now. The first way is to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and get comfortable with that feeling of discomfort, because it means that you're moving forward and that you're making progress. Number 2 is to stop the comparison game. Shut off social media. Wherever you are right now is exactly where you need to be. And so embrace that and don't compare yourself to others. Number 3 is embrace a process or a system that you enjoy, because it can help you make progress every day, and it can also help you bring more joy back into your whatever it is that you're learning or whatever you're trying to move through that you're stuck on. Number 4 is to try something new. I love learning, and so this is always my go-to. I love to try new things, and it always refreshes me, and I feel like it allows me to explore my creativity in a new way, so I love number 4. And then number 5 is, if you need to take a couple of days off, take days off. Take a week if you need to. You'll come back refreshed. You will have a new sense of both joy and enthusiasm for what it is that you've been stuck on, and it will definitely help you move to the next level. And so embrace the fact that taking some time off or taking a break is actually a really, really good thing. If you enjoy these broadcasts, please hit the subscribe button below and click the little bell so that you get a notification whenever I have a new broadcast that's available. And leave a comment below. I read all the comments, and I love to get back to you if you have something that you want to share. If you have some ways that you utilize to when you're stuck, if you have some great tips, please leave them for us. I would love to hear them. And then also, I always like to say in closing that I am Ann LaFollette, and it's never too late to create. Bye for now.